Hello, this is testing. Testing. Welcome to my channel, Filipino Nurse Retires Home. I'm just waiting. I hope everybody's doing fine and good morning to you all. One day I'm going to sing to you a Merry Christmas song, but you have to deal with my voice. One day, maybe next week. Hey, Troy, can you hear me? You always call me Ma'am Dean. You know what? One time, Troy, my head nurse, she's about 12 years older than me, maybe, or even 20 years older. And I always had addressed her with ma'am. She's American, she's my head nurse here in the United States. And she told me, Dean, can you please do not call me ma'am anymore? Please do not. But Americans do not like to be called ma'am for some reason. I do not know. But Filipinos, we always address each other ma'am. In a way, that's nice of you, Troy. At least I'm called Ma'am Dean. Anyway, so did you work last night? Oh, you just got home. I really appreciate your input, Troy. You really helped me. This is my second time. Okay. So how long do you have to get Shaggy out? That's your routine, huh? Routine to get him out? Anyway, yesterday we went fishing, Troy. I got my first trout, and it was nice. And actually, I had two at the end, and I had some perch. Hey, Mark Savage. Hello, FLN. How are you, FLN? I almost forgot that it's Filipino. What's that? Filipino nurse, right? Troy. Yes, he sniffed around for a few minutes. Okay, that's really a little bit difficult for me if I will have a dog. Hey, Mark, kumusta ka? Maayo man, mabuti. How you been? You are in Mindanao, Mark, right? It's really my first time to see. I think to see you. I see some of your videos. You have your own YouTube, right, Mark? Oh, you're from Maryland because there's another Savage. You have your own YouTube. I think there's another Savage in the Philippines that has not the same person. Okay, Mark. Anyway, welcome to our channel. And I hope things are going right for you in Maryland. Yeah, that savage YouTuber has a good one. Mark Savage, my wife and I watch you. We are preparing to retire 2025 back in PH. Now, are you retired now, or are you still planning to retire? She is a Pinay. Yes, that's nice. Anyway, so have you you preparing to retire still? You're only on your 50s. Good. Well, I tell you what, you can learn from us. We'll go there first, then you. So we're 10 years, a little bit 10 years um, over your age. So you're going to learn from us. So we're going to go there maybe in about 2 years. Yeah. Yes, in 5 years' time. That's what Mark says. Anyhow, 5 years is going to come so fast. It really is. So you watch my channel. I build my house first there and to prepare. So, Troy, Ma'am Dean, I got a new truck and a car for my wife this weekend. Do you think it would be okay to do a review video? Oh my God, yeah. It's proper actually. It's proper to give us review. You're talking about the car itself, right? Mark Savage, life is too short to work to 62. That's correct. Actually, Mark, what happened is we were still in our 50s. We wanted to retire there, but we started having children. I mean, I was like 40 years old when we had our first child, and we were planning to go in our 50s, and the real estate market went down at the same time. For some reason, I do not know what change. Life just changed. I mean, I'm talking about our plans. So we did not retire at 50 because we were thinking it's too early. It's too early to retire at 50. But if I could have done it and really have a lot of extra money save up, we could have probably done it. But I do not like to make it like a premature retirement and I have to come back to United States and start all over again. You see. So Troy, you're planning to do some videos, hon, on your truck and a car. Wow, you have. I thought you already have a new car. I mean, a new truck. I saw your truck. That was a big one. Troy expat, we had kids late too. One is a junior in high school. Well, Troy, actually, that's gonna be fast. In about 4 years, he's gonna be in college. My son, Mark Savage, my son was supposed to go to college this year in the Philippines. However, the pandemic stopped those plans for now. Now I understand that, Mark. Philippine college is pretty good. It's comparable to United States, but you have to stick to the private schools, not the public one. I'll tell you that right now. It's real cheaper, honestly. Mark Savage, he was going to La Salle. My goodness, that's the best school there. Actually, it's very very high class school. And have you checked? Have you checked the tuition fee there, Mark? It's much cheaper. That's what Mark says in La Salle. I can understand that. It's cheaper. Maybe I would say half because my daughter's school right now in college, I think without we spend about 40,000. No, I'm sorry, 26,000. That's with her scholarship. Mark Savage, it's much cheaper. Yes. Um, how much cheaper are you talking about, Mark? Yeah, we were planning to send my little one there before, like high school. Even I started planning when she was starting to go elementary school. 20K. That's maybe 20K for 4 years. Wow, that's pretty good. You cannot beat that because here in the United States, about maybe I would say a good school is 26 and times four. That's really a lot of money to save. So what I did with my nursing college, it was everything was transferable. So I went to college there, and everything was how do you call that? There's a reciprocity basically, but I have to take the board exams to pass. So it depends on what course you're going to go to get into. So what is your child going to be? What is he planning to go for? What degree? Computer science. That's really very nice, huh? Wow, that's. Have you checked if it is his what is this? The course is acceptable in United States? I think they just have to pass the board exams, I think, and then they can go for computer science here in the United States. Um, Sometimes you have to take the board exams. But LaSalle is a very high class university. Yes, it is American accredited. That's very good. Troy Expat, did you get to see the president Saturday? He was there. Actually, Troy, we're about 2 hours, and I told my husband I would want to pack, and it was like 4 hours. So by the time we get to Valdosta, it would be exactly 7 o'clock, and my husband did not really agree to it. I think he was not agreeable to it because it's 7 o'clock and it's almost time to go to sleep. But I told him I going. If you're not around, run. I said I would have gone there. But anyway, I really was dying to see that fellow, and I just want something done. I'm sorry, but anyway, I, Democrat and Republican, there should be some sort of there should be integrity in our electoral process. Honestly, that's my problem. I really could care less what kind of party you're going for, but there should be a respect to that. That's a holy right for me. Honestly, as a Filipino, I've been exposed to that kind of corruption sometimes. That it it affects it affects the whole country. You have to have a trust for your government officials, but we just want really a fair election, regardless of who is going to win, because we have to have respect for each other. Otherwise, I do not. I hate to even talk about politics, but anyway, since you asked, that's why I said I did not go. I wish it was here in Savannah, but Valdosta is about 3 hours from us. But that should not have been an excuse, honestly. Anyway, Mark Savage, yeah, I'm so glad that is American accredited. Troy, we're on the same page. That's good, Troy. Thank you so much. Anyway, I hope things will be all right for us all, though, because I live here almost 40 years, and I love America. I really do. In fact, I live here more than I live in the Philippines. I'm more like an American more than a Filipino, actually. But I was born there. Of course, I love both countries. I love. I have very much respect for the country and for the people, and I love the people. But anyway, I'm glad we're on the same page. So, Mark Savage, I'm glad that well, they're probably doing online now, Mark. in LaSalle. They probably doing the same way we do in United States because my daughter is in her fourth year in UGA, that's University of Georgia, and they're doing virtual actually. They can do FaceTime, but I think it's more virtual because of the pandemic. Mark Savage, that 20K for 4 years, are you sure about that? I think it's a little bit more than that. Anyway, you might be right because your child is already fixing to go there. I went and look around for more schools there for my child, elementary level. It was really expensive, but it was run by American ministry. Mark Savage, they are online. However, the time difference would not be good. Oh, really? I understand that. They're 13 hours ahead of us. Well, he still has more time, but it's really much cheaper, and really you do not have to be worried about the tuition too much that you have to pay them back. My daughter got a scholarship, a Zellmiller scholarship. So she got 100% scholarship for her tuition. Mark Savage, my wife took my son to 5 different schools last year. He chose the Map and Mapua. Wow, that's a nice engineering school, if I'm right. That's a very good one. Troy, I'm glad my middle daughter first year is paid for my program. She was in. Wow. I can imagine paying for tuition for distance learning. I understand that. Right now, with my daughter going to college, we spend for her board and lodging and her allowance. And she has another scholarship through my husband's work. So she got a little bit of money, about 2,000 per year. So that helps a little bit for her like books maybe. Joy, they're on distance learning for school and colleges here. How far is it, Troy? Yeah, my daughter has to drive about 4 hours. There's another good school nearby, about 30 minutes from us, but there's always a drawback for a child not to leave the house and depend on you. So we rather for her to go to like 4 hours and away from us so that she can do budgeting on her own and she will feel how it is to run her own budget as well as being with other people and cleaning her house on her own. That's the main reason there. Troy, in Washington, our governor sucks. Oops, no politics. Zip, zip. Anyway, Troy, they're all home on computers for distance learning, really. So they have their own computers, huh? The Filipinos, they try to implement that also, but not all people can afford. Can you imagine if you have about 5 students going to school and all virtual, and you have to pay for all the computers? I can hardly pay for my own. That can get really expensive. And they're using module in the Philippines for like high school and elementary modules, and it is too much expense for the part of the teachers. Troy Expat, I just noticed you had a new hairdo. Look nice, huh? Actually, it is too short at the very back. I'm not going to turn my head because it is very short right here. So it's supposed to be like a pixie look, and I do not know it got too short. Troy, yes, I see that on the video from Bohol. Oh, you see the what? You see the video from Bohol. Yeah, I always had a very short haircut, Joy. Module learning, I see. I have a problem with this though, because what if the parents are illiterate? How can they, even me, I cannot even really help my daughter do those kind of stuff because imagine explaining the algebra to my daughter. I would have a difficult time. Science, maybe I can, because I can read that. Science, maybe I can handle that, but anything else like geometry, physics, as well as anything about mathematics, I would have a hard time with that. I really would. Maybe they said that there's a lot of people failing. The grades are failing even in United States. In one of the states, I know that there's about 83% failure rate on those virtual learning. I do not know if it's true, but I do not know how effective it is, though. Math is my bane as well. A bane, I'm sorry, my bane as well. Yeah, I'm not very good at that, the mathematics. My husband can handle it. I'm not very good at mathematics, but I'm very good in the science part. So my daughter is good in English, very good in fact. Well, her her degree is going to be public relation. I'm not sure about her field though. It's public relation. Maybe it's not communication. It's something else. Maybe it's something to do with business. But anyway, I'm a little bit worried about that kind of degree because I'm not really familiar about the job market. Um, but she likes that very much for now. But I do not know if she's going to pursue another kind of career, making public relation as her degree right now and move forward. I do not know. But here in United States, I notice children has more option. In the Philippines, you do not have any option. You see, in the Philippines, you're gonna be assigned. Supposing my mom told me, "Okay, Dean, you're gonna be a nurse." There's not so much option there. Okay, I'm gonna be a nurse regardless of how I feel about it. She's okay though because she's a teacher. She was a teacher, and she told me, "Okay, if it's okay if I I would go to nursing." And I had problem with my teachers, and I really had a difficulty with one of my clinical instructors that really made me cry several times there. I wanna just quit nursing, and she said, "Well, Dean, you can only go for nursing and maybe go for another thing, but you do not have a lot of option." So I said I feel bad about that because it's so expensive. And I told her, I said, okay, I'm gonna try again. I'm so glad that I was able to get along better. And I really just kind of took the almost like an abuse. But I had a hard time in college at one point. I do not know, but one of my teachers, my clinical instructor, was bullying me for some reason. Anyhow, it was a hardcore course. So no option for us. And my sister went for management, BSBA, no BS administration, and she's the same because she wanted to be something else. But there's basically no job market for those particular courses in the Philippines if you're gonna go for it. Nursing, Troy, nursing is good paying profession, especially here. I understand that it takes a lot of special person to go for nursing, Troy, honestly. I was glad that I was a nurse, but that was not my first choice. Actually, you know what my first choice was? I want to be in music. and then architectural engineering. But that time, architectural engineering has no job market. So I went for nursing because in nursing, I can go abroad. That's the reason I went for it. So now that's why I love to draw and I love to do architecture and I do it for fun. So that's why, because I like architecture so much that I build me a house. So I made my drawing in the computer, and I told the architect to make a formal presentation so that I can get me the permit, and it saved a lot of money. Oh, Troy, you are a great artist. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, I really right now I quit doing it for 2 months already. So I'm off and on artist. Right now I'm doing my um, fishing. In fact, I'm trying to learn how to do some lures, those lures, as well as my rigs. Because yesterday when we went to the river, I lost about 6 rigs that I bought from Walmart. In fact, I'm trying to go to the YouTube right now and trying to make my own rig. So after we get off here, I'm going to Walmart and get me some thicker lines, and I'm making my own rigs. Troy, is that a Christmas cactus over your shoulder? Mine is actually blooming. I don't know how. Yes, it is. It is a Christmas cactus. And you know where I got that from? 10 years ago. This is a 10-year-old cactus. And it really do not bloom very much. I do not know why. Your tie, oh, you tie your own flies for trout. Yes, the trout, I probably have to just buy the shrimp, the shrimp lure, and that's not a lot of complication there. But the one I'm gonna show it to you. I'll be right back. I'm going to show what I'm making. All right, I put the weight right here, and this is a rig. So therefore, I'm trying to go YouTubing to make my own rig. You see? So it goes like this. Okay, I have a lot of beads right here, and I use those beads. So one rig like this would cost too much money for me because I lost about 6 of them yesterday. So this would not cost me very much money except for the weight right here. And we have a lot of oysters beds that it get caught there. The hooks are huge because I'm getting some how do you call those, perch? Yeah, it's big. It has to be smaller, but I actually got some perch using this hook. I might have to kind of downsize it a little bit because of their smaller mouth. We use shrimp for our shrimp bait, fresh shrimp, and that's what we use. Do you know how to fish, Troy? Do you try perch? And then you said, do you try for catfish? Well, one time I did that, but it is a river, like a fresh river. Troy, oh yes, of course. My goodness. Catfish, we do it from the lake, fresh lake. I'm not really fond of catfish. Honestly, I do not like the smell of the catfish for some reason. So I have done catfish fishing before, and it was fun because they can really snap there. They're kind of powerful. And what kind of fish are you going for? You have saltwater fishing, right, at your area? It's delicious once it's deep fried. I deep fry mine, but the catfish, I have a hard time with that because you have to skin them. We get about this big of a catfish in a lake, and we get it plenty at one time. One time we went to my husband's first cousin's lake, and bunch of them actually, and there's too much of them that after cleaning them, I said no, I cannot. I'm not enjoying it anymore after cleaning them. I did crabbing, and I can just eat too much crabs. And we had our crabs too the other day when my daughter was here, and it was nice. Hey Troy, you might need to go to sleep, hon. Troy, there's salmon, trout, sturgeon, but I usually just go for perch, bluegills, bass, and trout. I don't like salmon. I only like white meat fish. This perch really, I really love the perch. We only getting small ones though. The others and trout, that's it. But in our river, you can probably catch like shark. It's a big, big, big saltwater river. I never have heard of sturgeons. My husband, I asked him if he would want to do that during our retirement. And he told me, yeah, but I said, how long can you stand? Maybe about 2 hours. I said, we stayed there for about 6 hours and we just have a good time there. We are on like a dock, and it's a public dock, but usually we're there by ourselves and we had the best time. But he told me 2 hours. Oh my gosh, 2 hours, that's nothing, 2 hours. Troy, they can be huge, really. There's special requirements to catch them. They can be over 100 years old. The sturgeons, wow. I may try, what is that kind of fish that eats, they eat crabs. Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar with sturgeons. I might research on that. Troy, you can look it up online. I'm gonna do that. Anyway, fishing is fun for me right now, honestly, and it's giving me something to do aside from thinking going back to the Philippines right now. It's kind of still hard to go back right now. There's still a lot of hooplas right now. Um, they're just making too much of a big deal about everything right now. I think they're overkill with their implementation of their rules and regulation in the Philippines. It's really making people really lost a lot of businesses and jobs for the people. It's too much. They're giving restrictions, and the country's economy is suffering really, really, really bad. I'm just glad that I'm already retired. Can you imagine? If I go back to the Philippines, I have to deal with that. Good that my sisters are already all retired. But the people that are still making money, that's the only problem. The biggest problem there right now is a lot of headache. So Troy, have you made up your mind where you're gonna stay? Leyte or somewhere in Bohol? That area in Bohol, I really love the terrain. Troy, yes, and they also don't enforce the rules equally. Bohol is like the Wild West. Cebu and Leyte are big time lockdown still. Yeah, I know what you mean. It they put it in the hands of the officials. And the officials really sometimes do not know what they're doing. That's one thing. They really do not know. And I observe also, even here in the South, we still use masks, but we're still not really doing it correctly. Um, because I see that in the public area, they do not know how the virus or bacteria transmit. So it's done incorrectly anyway. So it's not effective. So if it's in the hospital, we do it correctly because we know the reason how it transmits. But a lot of these people, especially in our area, the boondocks, people do not know anything about infection control. So there's an issue. How much more in the Philippines, you know? But anyway, I might just have to go. I'm really itching to go to the Philippines this January, but the issue there is getting the ticket online. They advise for you to get one way only because your sometimes your trip can be canceled left and right. Demetrius, my goodness, you're too late, honey. What have you been doing? Yo yo, hey everyone. Good evening from Greece. Goodness, how you been? Troy, yes, lady for sure, but I wouldn't mind getting a small farm on Bohol too. I don't really want to be too close to the in-laws, but I know my wife wants later as she has a small house there. Well, you can be near the in-laws, but you have to put restriction, a little bit of restriction there. Um, you're the father in the family, so you will have the last word. But anyway, Demetrius had to finish washing clothes, drying them, blah, blah, blah. You know how. Haven't cooked anything yet. I'm starving. Well, you can eat after we talk. All right? So how you been doing, Demetrius? How's your love life? That's a very general question, and I'm not going to get there. That has a lot of, when I ask you how about your love life, my goodness, that can really trigger a lot of questions. How it might not, we might not have enough time to even cover that issue. Well, you can always ask me question, but make sure that I know what to answer, okay? I wonder what kind of topic I'm going to give you guys next time that you might want me to touch, but it has something to be something that I do not like silly stuff, I like to give facts. And everything what I have, actually, I can read them. And then sometimes it's based on experience. And I do not feed anybody with any kind of story that has no basis. Demetrius, exactly. Well, my love life. Um, well, we still talk with her. She sounds like a really honest and decent person. She feels like she's not enough for me. Like she feels I can do much better. She feels like I can do much better. She feels she is not enough for me. You mean she feels like she feels inferior? She feels I can do much for better. She feels inferior. Um, where is she from, Demetrius? If you don't mind me asking, where is she from? Or she thinks because she hasn't finished college, etc. Actually, It all depends. As for me, actually, it all depends. Can she speak English? Does she have any high school education? A lot of people are bright even if they have no college degree. Troy, you should promote your channel on this side. They each do exchanges on LS. Really, I see that on Lori Live TV in US of A. She's based in Hawaii. She basically do that. I do not really know how to do that. I'm right now I'm trying to learn a lot of stuff how I'm going to promote my videos because I'm sometimes wondering how the others are really getting so fast and me I'm just kind of slow. But it's okay. As I have said, I would like good subscriptions, not only because of the numbers. I enjoy having to correspond to people in a long, like almost like I have to respond to you better than just saying thank you. Okay, I want to expound more. Demetrius, yeah, she is quite all right with her English. Obviously, some mistakes here and there. That's normal, but I don't mind the college. I like educated PPL, but I don't mind having a girl who is willing to learn. Yeah, I understand that. Well, there's a lot of college people that are not successful, you see. In the Philippines right now, even if you have college degree and if you do not have a job, that's useless. So basically, those people, what they do, and it's a proven fact that really small businesses that they can join or they can start as long as they have a little capital, they make it more than the college degree people. And selling stuff is really good in the Philippines. People are surviving doing small businesses. All they need is really just a little capital here and there. So I've known a lot who has college degree who has not really done very good in their lives. Troy and Lori, yeah, you just go there and they post a link to your channel. They subscribe and you subscribe back and then you build a following. So when you do your LS, they'll come too. Oh, that is nice. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Joy, then not they. Okay. Okay. Anyway, thank you for that, for your input, Troy. How about you? When are you going to start your own? I mean, your other videos. I hope you will do that even just once a week, just to keep in touch with people. Because when you have the time later, you can do a lot. And really, your subscription will do well in the Philippines. I'm a good talker. You'll do great according to Troy. I'm a good talker, my goodness. Uh, Troy, I'm going to try to do one soon for both vehicles. That will be really great because you know what, Troy, what you can do? You can actually let the Filipinos see how much vehicles all over the world, how much Americans love their vehicles. You go to the dealership and there's a bunch of cars all over, and used cars at the same time. You do that, and that really would be attractive to other people, especially in the Philippines, because they will never know how dealership in America look like. Because in the Philippines, sometimes they only have 10, and you still have to order. And like in America, they would have to they put thousands of them in one dealership. In fact, we have one area here, for 1 mile maybe, all dealership, every kind of car around the world they have. So that's really something very attractive to them. That's a good thing. In fact, Troy, um, I have a problem with my car. Remember, I had a video that one of my vehicles got burnt because of electrical issues. Anyway, we went to the junkyard, and the junkyard here is so tremendously packed. I mean, I think there's about 50 acres of junk there, and we just gonna get our parts and then replace. So I need some fuse box, and that costs a lot of money in the Philippines. And I'm gonna show you guys how we basically harvest those parts. It really does not cost very much. Demetrius, word of advice, you need to define your audience. This I am open to everyone, just doesn't cut it. Then you need to shape your video content towards that audience. And then you said they join communities like FB and leave note under your comments or even post your group if allowed. Thank you, Demetrius. You might want to be a YouTuber one day, Demetrius, and I'm gonna subscribe to you. Actually, Demetrius, I really don't have a niche right now. That's my issue because my title is supposed to be Filipino nurse retires home. And I was expecting that I would be in the Philippines doing videos, but the pandemic started. Now, anything that I do in United States would not really, nobody is even gonna look at that. That's my issue. So the one in the Philippines right now, that's why my kind of videos are kind of diverse. I do not have the niche. Whatever comes in my head just to fill in the gap right now, just to keep myself busy. I have to get topics. It's random topics. That's the drawback right now with this pandemic. Demetrius, everyone keep telling me to start vlogging. Ha ha ha, cause I'm good with words and I can understand other PPL perspective. Demetrius, like everyone, ha ha ha. Actually, it's fun. And some people makes money out of this. You will never know. You're gonna have 1 million subscribers, but I'm not gonna depend on it. That's one thing I would say to you, especially if you're still young. And you're still young, it's okay, but you have to have a primary job, and that would be just a supplementary income for you, because that's just a fad right now that can go away. And then you have to have a skill on your own aside from doing YouTube videos. That's the drawback of getting it started during early age and make that as a sole income generating for young people. That's my take on that, So I'm doing this as for fun, and hopefully I can have a little bit of $20 maybe a month if there is for my sack of rice. How about that? Joy, good point. I'm in the same boat. So we're just gonna be happy, Troy, if we're gonna have $20 a month, right? $20 would go a long way. But anyway, they make, if you're gonna think about just getting started, you're just not gonna make it, honestly. But my purpose is so different. Demetrius, I was doing some online coaching to some Filipinas I met online, and we ended up as friends. And they brought their friends so I can talk to them. Ha ha ha, believe that. Yes, it is a good way how to meet people. Now, this is my principle here. I just do not like to do some, what they're doing. I want to be friends with you. Subscribe to me and you're going to subscribe back to me. Because the YouTube industry would try to eliminate them in the future. They're going to be inactivated if they're not good, good people. I mean, good, how do you call it? People who does not even contribute to your, they do not make comments into your videos. So they're just there because they want your subscription, and that's not going to be effective. And to me, actually, I like a dynamic video, just like this. I like good people to be with me. I do not like just the subscription just because of so that I can get subscription. Troy, I'm just doing it for fun, sort of. Yeah. I'll go big time once I get to the Philippines also, but permanently will be 5 to 6 years. Maybe that time, Troy, it will be another fad, another way of social media. So at least we got introduced to this. So that time I would be older that time. So I do not know if somebody would even look at me anymore. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, so I have not seen a lot of old people doing YouTube though. I do not know. But anyway, I probably would have to need some facelifting before people would even look at me. Yeah, I only kind of cater to older people like retirees or 50 years old and so on, or maybe 37 years old. But honestly, there's not a lot of young people that would even open my kind of videos. So I'm limited this time. Unlike those YouTube, like you're familiar with Fin Snow and Bisayang Hilaw, there are those kids that go to like lakes and oceans and doing like jumping around in the ocean, swimming around, and so on and so forth. My God, I do not have that kind of energy. Joy, there's plenty of older people doing YouTube. Don't worry, you look fine if I'm able to say that. Thank you, Troy. Anyhow, I've not seen a lot of ladies though, old ladies doing it. Maybe older men. So Demetrius, you're going to the Philippines, huh? Someday? Oh, Demetrius said ignore that. But anyway, I'm just having a good time right now while I can do it. Your age doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, I even went to Best Buy. That's electronic place. I wanted to get a better gadget because right now I'm using GoPro. So that GoPro is nice. I really love it very much, but it has its own flaws. So I might get a little bit more expensive one, but I'm very cheap. Troy Expat. I don't know the name. My wife watches them. Two old ladies that are sisters. She's laughing all the time watching. Oh gosh, anyway, I wish I can just do that. You know what I mean? Maybe it was me and my sister because I was laughing so hard one time when I just started. I feel awful. It was funny. I cannot even get started because without laughing and just looking at myself, and being aware that I am facing the camera, I can just get started. Demetrius, do these three things I told you. Define your audience. You mean old people? Who do you want to talk to? Then shape your videos towards what and how this PPL want to hear. Then on the same time, make sure you join communities. Demetrius, in order to promote yourself, so PPL equals, by the way, Demetrius, what is PPL? View your content. What is PPL? PPL people. Ah, okay. All right, I understand now. Um, people equals people view your content. I really do not know how to do it, but anyway, we will see. Defining my audience. You're very good at it, Demetrius. You might really need to get started. It's a good way. It's a good way to meet people, and you're gonna. If your subscription is really really high, some people are making buku money doing it. Joy, it gets easier the more you do it, Ma'am Dean. Yeah, it's much better right now, really, because I before it's hard for me to get started and be normal. And right now, I'm just talking right now normally to the camera. The hardest thing is when you talk to the camera and you're talking to the camera and nobody is there. Demetrius, so it's easy to find it. So I'm 34-year-old guy from Greece. Would you talk to me the same way you would talk to a Filipino guy 20 years old about a woman? Absolutely not. You have a lot of psychology in you, Demetrius. That's really, you sound really very, very bright man. Eventually, I can learn from you. I'm still learning. Demetrius, so you need to write a script, brainstorm ideas. Is it going to be a channel for Philippine nature, relationship, politics, and food? Yeah, it's probably going to be relationship more, and retirement is what I'm going for. I'm trying to show people how I retire in the Philippines. That's the main thing, how I build my house and what are those difficulties I have and who I have in the community and about the lives of my workers, maybe. That's what I would like to try to do. But as I have said, this time it's going to be difficult because I'm so limited. And I already have started Filipino Nurse Retires Home as the title. So I want to change that actually. Demetrius means or it has to be one of these things or anything else, but it has to be one thing. I agree, and a lot of people told me that already. In fact, one of my subscribers told me, "My God, you got diverse topic," which is correct, very correct. So if it is relationship, then you need to sit down one day and write in a piece of paper 20 subjects about relationship and Filipino people. Yes, at one point I did the same way. I did the same that I did it, um, but really that one is not even what I was planning to do. As I have said, it's not about relationship, not even talking about culture. I really just want to talk about retirement. But maybe in one day I will be able to um, get that corrected because I'm really diverse right now. So that's why I'm not getting a lot of views. Joy, Mom Dean, I have to get going now. Take care and God bless you all. Well, Joy, I really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. You've always been a very good person to be with, and I love you. And I'm going anyways. I only have about 1 minute. And thank you, Troy, and go to sleep and take care. Bye bye. And Demetrius, I'm going to try one day. I'm really just still trying to think what my niche is, but I know it's retirement. And I know what is in my mind, but it probably would be better if I really would stick to one topic. Also, you need a reboot. I mean, you need to reboot your channel. Let me explain. As soon as you have written down 50 topics for which you are going to make your subject and analyze it. See you later. Until next time. Hey, Demetrius, appreciate your input, Han. and be safe and good luck to you. Love you. Bye bye. Thank you guys for everything. I'm finished now and see you in another live streaming and I will put some more videos. Goodbye. God bless.